Hi there, Capricorn. Thank you for joining me for your weekly forecast for week commencing the 15th of August. The Sun continues in the part of your horoscope, which is very much to do with ends and beginnings, quite frankly. They may not be in the physical realm, though. This may be something that more is going on inside of you. Something that has gripped you in the past, kept you captive, arrested, may actually lose its appeal. Now, this may be something that you've had a great deal of time for in the past, and therefore it could come as something of a surprise. And all of this is going to be flagged up even more because of Thursday's lunar eclipse in the next sign to yours of Aquarius. Now, this eclipse also asks you to think about expenses. If money's going in and out, just be aware that there could be some kind of demand that could come in unexpectedly. Perhaps it's a renewal on an insurance policy, or some way in which you may need to think about how your everyday approach to managing your resources plays out for the longer term. But what makes this a particularly fascinating eclipse is the fact that it's angling up to Uranus, the planet of surprises, which is in your sector of where you live. I think what you share with the people on an everyday basis in your immediate environment, be it at home or in your workplace, can actually be something that you become much more conscious of. It could be in a very positive way that someone's going to be very generous to you, perhaps within your family. Or on the other hand, perhaps you're going to see that you need to separate yourself from something that's not working quite so well. You don't need to feel possessed by any situation at the moment, and I think your compulsion could be to create some liberty from it if that seems to be the case. But as I said, this could just as much be an attitude as a particular circumstance that you're involved with. But this week also sees an absolutely delicious alliance between Jupiter and Mercury from Tuesday through to the end of the week in your sister Earth sign of Virgo. If you have thought about travelling or going away on some kind of business trip, or you need to broaden your horizons in terms of knowledge, this is a wonderful connection, and it's going to be flowing on through to next week too, when in the latter part of next week Venus also gets caught up as well, which points towards some exciting opportunities heading your way as far as your love life is concerned. But the irony of all of this is that the extra knowledge that may come your way may actually be much more about how you actually tick yourself. This is because Saturn, your ruler, which has been in a tricky location for you for over a year and being oppressed by, in a subtle way, by the nebulous energies of Neptune since the middle of May, well, that's joined by Mars. If there are issues rattling around in the depths or outstanding emotional debris that you've yet to come to terms with, they could come to the surface within the next 10 days or so. Mars, as it makes its way for your 12th solar house, has a habit of sometimes making us feel really quite vulnerable and the next minute really quite angry if there are these loose ends. As it joins with your ruler, if you feel any sense of injustice, there could be a real determination to be much more outspoken about them. And with this cluster of energy in your 9th house, which is also about justice, maybe you need to have your voice heard. And that therefore points towards the ends and the beginnings that the eclipse is really pointing towards. But of course, this is just the overall framework. How you knit in with it in your individual situation could be very different. And for example, there may be something you've been working quietly on in the background, which can start to show signs of maturing in a much more positive way. And that could just be as easily the Mars-Saturn conjunction in the second half of this week. But the chance to travel, to heighten your thinking, to embrace more spirituality is certainly there with the wonderful alliance between Mercury and Jupiter. Thank you for joining me, Capricorn. Good luck and goodbye for now.